Next, we move to the shear test. This test shows how well the friction material is attached to the backing plate by applying pressure to the friction material until it is removed. For each of our 5 different brake pad categories, we tested 4 brake pads, 2 that were brand new and 2 that already had undergone performance and corrosion testing. The brake pad is placed into a device that secures the backing plate but leaves the friction material exposed. A shear tool is then placed, which applies pressure to the backing plate. If you're wondering why pressure is applied vertically onto the pad material rather than from the side, which would be more representative of a brake rotor and pad interaction, this is done to allow for consistency in testing. If the shear test were done from the side, some pads would have different chamfers and rounded edges, so the industry standard is to test against the top where the entire pad depth can be pressed against. The machine used for testing measures the maximum pressure applied before the brake pad material fails and shears off. So, how did the different pads do? NRS states that the original equipment suppliers generally want to be above a minimum of 3.5 megapascals before failure. Brand new, none of the pads had any trouble meeting this standard. However, it is surprising to see how well the budget and mid-level brake pads did compared to the more expensive options. After the brake pads undergo performance and corrosion testing, however, the results change. The budget and upper level pads both dip below 3.5 megapascal, while the mid-level, NRS, and OE pads all remain above 3.5. Again, surprisingly, the mid-level pads actually did the best in this test. An important distinction here is that you want the friction material to be the failure point, not the adhesive used to attach it to the backing plate. You can see that with the budget pad, the adhesive was the weakest link, as the pad was cleanly sliced off. This is why NRS uses mechanical burr locks, which means the friction material's bond with the backing plate will not be the failure point. Now, there was